Had to go on the Negro spirituals. Go back to the Negro spiritual energy. Negro spiritual energy. Let's go, man. Hebrews to what? What niggas want to be now? Niggas want to be what? Oh my goodness, let's get it, man. Yo, Real Radio, man, tapping in. Real Radio, tapping in. Hebrews to so and so. So, man, interesting times, man. Amazing times. You know what I'm saying? Shit is cracking. Shit is vibrating. Things are moving around. You know what I'm saying? So, Real Radio's here. You know what I mean? Make it clear. At least clear to me. You know what I'm saying? So boom. So this picture right here is indicative of what's going on right now, what's been going on, where quote unquote black woman is saying that a white woman cannot appropriate her culture, but at the same time, she got blonde hair and hair that's not hers anyway. Remy hair, Kalani hair, them long braids, and all the stuff that women have been guided to putting into their hair, which is fake hair, as opposed to, is really representative, because as opposed to being inside out, where you could really cultivate your hair through natural forms of collagen, through forms of different levels of supplementation, of just eating properly and putting, the proper things to cultivate hair growth, especially as you get older, you know what I'm saying, and stop pulling on the hair and, braiding it up and tightening it up and wearing all these tight ass hairstyles. It's for different types of hair, you know what I'm saying, different strokes for different folks. But the main thing is that doing things from the inside out creates a lasting effect, and it carries over to your subconscious and into your soul, into your spirit, and things like that, where these Instagram type of movements, these trending movements, these outside in inverted matrix movements, are put it in front of us, and we move with that as if that's truth, or if it's that is valuable for us. And actually it deteriorates us the same way as you putting this fake hair into your body. It deteriorates the spirit and soul based upon what they've done spiritually to the Remy hair when they're giving up to their gods, and what they've sacrificed it for in that energy, and then which is death. And then also the stuff that they found just physically in the hair that causes cancer and shit like that. This is just one example, you know what I'm saying? But overall, I get it. We live in a paradox, a dualistic world, so we have to make sense of it for ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And even, just the culture thing in general, humans are very attached to their culture. It's difficult to look at a culture or look at ourselves outside of our culture. So what I've trained myself to do is to do that, look at myself outside of my culture, which is hip-hop, quote-unquote black, growing up, tri-state area, New York, Jersey, all of that, you know what I'm saying? Then moving, down south to, the southern area, and then tapping into the west, and then all of a sudden realizing, like, all right, hold on, let me see what's going on cosmically, universally, and then being able to be oriented to those cultures, you know what I'm saying? When I was younger, I was able to be in a lot of different cultures based upon where I grew up and shit like that. But cosmically, you know what I'm saying, or universally, now I'm able to see different cultures and be attached or connected, I'll say, to different cultures just upon my energy, you know what I'm saying, and my resonance. And by doing so, I'm able to see different lenses of different people and how they operate within their culture, because we all have this lens of culture that's our eyeballs to society, and then we place in the united system that we're in, the United States, or now the world's about to be united, but we place our lens into what we want to see, and then now it's like, all right, no, I'm Jewish, or I'm this, or I'm Arabian, or and then the culture is filtered through these systems of religion and bias and indoctrination and all the shit that, you know what I'm saying, culture is built upon. But the point is that culture is appropriated. You know what I'm saying? Culture is given to us. It ain't ours. It's only ours because we take it and accept it. So if you take yourself outside of your culture, take yourself outside of your body, take yourself outside of your mind, take yourself out of your indoctrination, then you can rock and roll and truly be a cosmic being and see things for what they are for you. It ain't for me to tell you what the fuck is going on. It's for everybody to figure out what's going on internally, and then externally it makes itself present because the external copies the internal. Just like the car or any technology copies the physical body. You know what I'm saying? Across the board. So, because we live in a reflective world, a holographic society, as they say. So anyway, just some insight on how I separated myself from culture so that I'm not so attached. When somebody attacks a culture and says, oh, this is culture of black people. Like, all right, everybody's mixed, or everybody got something in them. Everybody grandmother got Indian in them. Somebody got quote unquote white, and everybody got all kind of shit mixed in them. So you're just gonna deviate from a part of your culture because you don't want to accept that based upon or part of your lineage or DNA because you don't want to see. You don't know if that's where the energy could rely. You don't know your great grand whoever and what they was involved in it and how that affects you and how you're able to thrive on that. You know what I'm saying? So accept everything, all this self mentality. Then it's like, all right, that wasn't helpful. That sucked. That was great. And then you could do what you want to do with the energy that you have within. As opposed to saying my culture or your culture. It's out. We're humans. Like, we're here. Experience the fact that we're here. We don't make shit. You know what I'm saying? People don't make shit. They just receive. It's like you receive your breath, you receive your water, you receive your electricity. You got to go out and make money. Then you receive your money. You receive your light from the sun. There's nothing. That's why they say there's nothing new under the sun. We don't receive a motherfucking thing. And that's where the word motherfucker comes from, because we're literally fucking our moms being Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and the mother frequency. Because we don't pay homage to the mother at all. You know what I'm saying? And she's providing us in her womb of earth, in her womb of this physical existence that we live in. She's providing us pretty much abundance in everything. But we fucking her over and over, because the majority of the world still think that they're all seeing whatever is a man. Like, come on, B. That's not your hair anyway. I think that's not your coat. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not it. So let's dig into culture a little bit. This Row Radio, type it in. Thank you everybody for listening. You're truly honored and appreciated for being here, spending time, your valuable time listening to me, listening to yourself, listening to reflection. You know what I'm saying? Do what we do. So my cultivation. So let's tap into culture. Etymologically, should I put? So the culture started. The word culture is from the mid 1500s, right? So it means tilling of the land, preparing the earth from crops. So the original meaning of culture from the mid 1500s in English language is tilling of the land, preparing the earth for crops, cultivating agriculture, caring and honoring. Someone also coming from the stem of colere, which is colony, right? So culture is being colonized. So see, watch the energy. Follow how the energy flows. Follow how this energy flows and how it deviates into the society and what we're dealing with now. So we have colonizers. In another nastier instance, our bowels are we get colonics, and there's a colony of bacteria in our rectum. That's what we shit. That's what we, shit out through our bowels and stuff like that. So that's been colonized. There's bacteria through there. Our guts have been colonized. There's a colony of bacteria, good or bad bacteria, probiotics they call them, or antibiotics when you gotta get rid of some shit. But it's pro or anti-bacteria in our guts as well. It's for us to keep that balance, acid or alkaline or both, to find pH balance so that we can keep that colony, that culture in our stomach correct. So follow where I'm going. The culture is tilling of the land, preparing earth for crops, but it's a culture that we're doing across the board. And that's why in the late 1800s, you know what I'm saying? In the late 1800s, there was, they changed, it graduated to production of bacteria, other microorganisms in a suitable environment. You know what I'm saying? So, and even colony. The word colony comes from the late 1400s, and that means ancient Roman settlement outside of Italy. So we still living in Rome. Colony culture is the culture of Rome. That's why the 7 days of the week are still Roman gods. We live in Rome, fam. Like, it's it. We living in Rome, so we got to realize where we're living at. I see that. That's why my name is J-Ro. I realize I'm a Rome. I'm a J-Ro myself. J-Ro man myself, literally and figuratively. So I get that energy. I see where it comes from. I was infatuated with, you know what I'm saying, Roman culture. Or not Roman culture per se, but the Greek gods and shit like that. Just, I would stay after class and listen to the, all of the stories and all in like fourth grade. And then that led into comics and shit like that, mythological figures, and all of that. But the point is that culture is given to us by the same people that create history, create mythology, create culture, and then we give that, even if it's hip hop or whatever, we think we built upon it. Yeah, we build upon it, but it's given to the people by the people who run the world spiritually first, and then down into the soul, into the spirit, into the mind, and so on and so forth. So, you know what I'm saying? Boom, let's go back to the cultures. Like in science, they take a culture. You take a culture of something. And it's interesting how in the 1800s, culture meant a super environment for bacteria and microorganisms, because at that same time, where's my joint at? Your man, John D. Rockefeller, who said, I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers, came in, and he was also America's first billionaire. You know what I'm saying? It's The Rock. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that somebody would actually, or people would actually create that name as their company name and utilize that mantra, it's The Rock, Rockefeller Records, so on and so forth, shows you where their mindset is at, right? And I'm gonna show it to you this way. John D. Rockefeller, you know what I'm saying, also with JR, you know what I'm saying? So he's familiar with the Roman society and hooking people into the Roman society, because the J is a hook. So he's bringing people to the rock nation, you know what I'm saying? It's a very, very big energy that he has, just etymologically, energetically, and so on. But he was an oil magnate. He was America's first billionaire. So again, follow the energy. The Rock, Rockefeller, hip hop's first billionaire is being, the culture's being appropriated and built upon, but it comes from a spiritual, universal standpoint first. So in the late 1800s, the scientists discovered petrochemicals, right? And petrochemicals were medicines that could be made from using oil. So boom, Rockefeller was like, all right, I'm getting money. You know what I'm saying? He had other shit he was doing, but he owned Standard Oil, a lot of other oil stuff. And we know oil gas is abundant through the earth, but they made it fossil fuels and all that bullshit. No need to get into that now, but the main thing is that he was able to patent petrochemicals, which is oil. So it's good to know that prior to that, people were using holistic medicine. You wouldn't even know that. Doctors in colleges and stuff like that was tapping into holistic and herbal medicine prior to the check it out, takeover of Rockefeller and The Rock, you know what I'm saying, coming through and washing everything up. So him and his man Andrew Carnegie, you know what I'm saying, used Abraham Flexner. Check out this, follow the energy. Abraham, the Abrahamic religions. Abraham was the same person that ran through the world and placed these three religions in front of us. The Abrahamic religions of Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, which pretty much run the world from a spiritual perspective now. They conquered the world spiritually. So in order to be accepted, you have to go or deal or access one of these Abrahamic religions in order to make things flow smoother for you in this slave society that we live in. So boom, him and Carnegie took that same blueprint, literally blueprint, and took Abraham Flexner to travel the country and demonize holistic remedies. This is in the late 1800s. Which is the same man said, I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers. So they just want people to work and be slaves and robots, which is what we're ultimately, or humans are ultimately attempted to be turned into. So boom, so they only wanted to focus on cures that could be patented using the petrochemicals. And then Rockefeller gave $100 million to schools who followed his blueprint. So back then, $100 million. Now, like you see the 100, follow the energy, $100 million. Everybody wanted $100 million, $100 million or more. $100 million this, $100 million that, $100 million that, blah, blah, blah. So the $100 million is a big stepping stone. And back then, in the early 1900s, the $100 million is like trillions now. 100 got to be billions. 100 hundreds of billions. Got to be trillions at this point. So he put $100 million up to create a blueprint so that everything can be based on oil, petrochemicals, patented, and moving Mother Nature, the herbal stuff, all out the way. So much so that the doctors that come up now they only take 4 months or a semester of nutrition. of herbs. They don't even know if they tap into herbs. Doctors aren't healthy because of the blueprint. They only focus on medicine and big pharma because humans are being farmed. And this process started in the early 1900s, 100 and something year process that the Rockefellers been moving with and rolling this out piece by piece, right? So if you didn't have the money or the means to, as a school, as somebody who's teaching holistic medicine, herbals, you didn't qualify for those grants. So slowly but surely, your shit got washed up. And there was no more schools that taught that. It had to be like, you know what I'm saying? It was a select few of us that were doing those type of things, just like a select few of us that do it now. But, we turn it up and we get more people associated with the appreciation of Mother Nature and Mother Earth and tapping into the inner self to be able to heal ourselves in infinite amount of ways. You know what I'm saying? So we doing that now. Another fun fact, though, the American Cancer Society was founded by Rockefeller in 1913 as well, early 1900s. So every time somebody donates to that foundation, they're giving to the energy of their oppressor. The cancer, the chemotherapy, all that shit is all allegedly, I'll say, keep this video up, reversible. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, it is reversible. These things are reversible. Dr. Seavey proved that it was reversible, and it becomes from mucus. It comes from different levels of not being able to discrete waste, excess mucus, and so on and so forth. So, but the American Cancer Society is one that gives you chemo radiation. They don't give you none of the herbal. They don't give you none of the natural stuff to help your body recover. They just blast you with radiation and chemicals, petrochemicals that can be patented that they make money off of. That is a huge money maker, and a huge also. In addition, they it's a 2-for-1. They get money maker, and they keep people sick because radiation destroys the immune system. You know what I'm saying? It destroys it. And chemicals destroy the immune system. And then there's no suggestions of anything of how to build the immune system. So slowly but surely, that's why people they go into remission, they get cancer again, and so on and so forth. But anyway, the point is that the American Cancer Society was founded by Rockefeller. And this dude was the one who moved Mother Earth out the way. Motherfucker. This nigga here, man. So, you know what I'm saying? He was able, in tilling the land, by using oil, he cultivated mind cultivation culture. He cultivated the current system of medicine that we still use today. That people, you ask somebody's grandmother to not go to their doctor, and for the most part, their doctor is their pastor, is their gateway keeper. They go to their doctor on cue. Yo, grandma, what about this? Well, I don't know. I gotta check them out. I don't know. Yo, it is so indoctrinated, the culture of doctors as opposed to natural Mother Nature. And this is women as well. So it's a hurtful thing to watch. Elder wisdom women who have lived a certain life still going towards a system that was made by an oppressive society who moved their energy, Mother Nature, Mother Earth, the healing principle, the natural healing principle out the way. It just really, really hurts, you know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate to see that mindset. But again, our minds have been cultivated, mind cultivation, right? So boom, culture, let's go back to culture again. So culture as a society wasn't even focused on in terms of like how we think culture is, like culture vultures and shit like that. That wasn't even focused on until the late 1800s. So the word culture stems from the word cultor, right? And culture means from 1914, same time, all this stuff was being cultivated around the same time. Culture means ideas of civilization as conceived by the Germans. So we got a Roman influence, boom, then we got a German influence, boom. You know what I'm saying? First World War. They went to war. The war's in the mind. Remember, the war is always in the mind. It's in the spirit and in the mind. You know what I'm saying? That's where they take over first. So culture is culto, a German word, a German civilization, a Roman civilization, a Roman energy, a Roman takeovers. Where the Germans come from. You know what I'm saying? Where did Rome stem from? What our Greek and Egyptian, and it's all the same energy that is reincarnated or moving through. And people who want to uphold that system of this inverted matrix throughout the different cultures, I don't give a fuck how far back it goes, but these are the cultures that are upholding this pyramid system. It's the rock, right? You know what I'm saying? What symbol do they throw up, or did we throw up when you focus on the rock? It's a pyramid system. right? So boom. So let's translate to this to hip hop. So now we got the culture. That's hip hop. The culture of hip hop. You got Rockefeller. Boom. You see that Rockefeller? He's a scoundrel. We saw what he did, motherfucker. Death Row. You know what I'm saying? Literally Death Row. Murder Inc. You know what I'm saying? Murder Inc. Like there's no cash money. Only thing they care about is bling bling, cash money. That's it. Cash money at that. Cash money, not investments, not equity, not wealth. Cash money. Let's only focus on this cash money. No limit records. Teach niggas how to cook dope. There's no limit to what we do to get this bread. Bad boy, babies, and then we have the allegedly stuff of what was going on with Puff and the kids and boys and little boys and shit like that. All this stuff is all built in. And it's put right in front of us. We eat the shit up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no, I'm coming out. I've got the world to know. Like, this shit is all crazy. And on that same time, Hypnotized Minds with the Biggie Hypnotized, and then tapped into Hypnotized Minds. These are record labels. Hypnotized Minds is 3-6 Mafia. You know what I'm saying? Which was a whole nother sound that came through Hypnotized niggas. Ruthless Records. So since we're focusing, or since right now, what's trending is the hip hop culture and all that other stuff is coming through, you know, sports and entertainment. I'm just following the energy and placing a different lens on it, placing a universal lens on it, and a lens that plays through energetically throughout time, in and out of time. So then you got Ruthless Records, NWA and all that. Niggas is ruthless. Rockefeller, The Rock, Death Row, Murder Inc., Cash Money, no limit to what we gonna do. Bad Boy with the little boys, hypnotizing the minds, and niggas is being ruthless. I mean, this is our hip hop. This is our culture. This is what we've cultivated in our minds over the course of 20, 30 years. Constant levels of this shit in our mind. So boom, now we've created, you know what I'm saying? What we've created now is 300 Entertainment. Right? So that's the one way a lot of these artists is dying now, right? So let me tap into 300 real fast. Let me tap in a little bit of the 300 energy. The Spartans, right? Sparta and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Spartans, and you know what I'm saying? Well, regardless whether the Spartans is black, white, that don't even matter. It's the energy that comes through and how it's being played upon now. The same way people thought Jesus was white and now they want him to be black or whatever, hair, wool, whatever. That's not, it doesn't matter. It's the salvation, the savior, the Messiah, looking up to something outside of you. The saviors will slave you after a while. They'll present you something in the beginning that's going to help you, to save you, but then you add an L, and all gods are L's, E-L, L, the left, right angle, whatever you want to call it, and then you now place yourself in a box if you can't see it correctly, because 2 L's make a box, 2 capital L's make a box, and then now you are being enslaved. We have been enslaved. Human beings are enslaved. You know what I'm saying? So, boom, 300. That's the obvious play at the movie. Spartans going to war. They overcome great odds. There's 300 of them. They got the Phoenix formation of the phalanx flanks and all of that. You know what I'm saying? All of that. They perform heroically, but they ultimately die, right? And who did they fight? They fight homeboy right here, Xerxes, right? So your man Xerxes from that Persian, that energy. Look at, he got the gold. It's like Dazzlem from fucking Street Fighter. It's like the lineage of the magic and all the stuff that came from Persia and the Indus Valley and Vishnu and all of that energy that came from that energy. It's like almost an androgynous energy. You know what I'm saying? It's a real sexual, a tantric, powerful energy. You know what I'm saying? If you know what you're doing. And look at your man. He's golded out. You know what I'm saying? Everything is rocking and rolling. He had armies that was before they had gunpowder and all kind of shit they was doing. Elephants, they was taming elephants, had all kind of ill shit going on. So boom, this is Xerxes, right? Your man Xerxes, but check it out. Xerxes is from the lineage of your man, where is it at? Xerxes is from, where is he at? This dude here, Cyrus the Great. Check out the symbolism, you know what I'm saying? The wings, the phoenix, the lions on the side. So Xerxes is from, I think he's like Cyrus's great grandson, or he's in his lineage, like Game of Thrones. You follow the lineage. So you got Jon Snow, Aegon Targaryen, you got the Aegon whatever, and then Robert. I mean, it's the same type of time. This is the Game of Thrones, but the thrones transcend through time. Whatever age we're in, the thrones switch. But the energy state knows how to manipulate the people to feed off the energy. So the people, you know what I'm saying? In the world, the regular common folk remain the regular common folk. But the lineages, they alter, they change, but the energy flows through different lineages depending upon the power at the time. So Xerxes, who defeated the Spartans, who were supposed to be these great powers, right? You know what I'm saying? Um, and Xerxes is from the lineage of Cyrus. They call him Cyrus the Great, Cyrus the Elder. He was the founder of he was the first Persian emperor. His Cyrus the Great. He came all the way from West Africa or East Africa to West Asia, Central Asia, Near East, Mediterranean Sea, Helens Point, Indus River. They called him the fucking king of the world or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I have it written down. They called him the king of the world, the conqueror, the liberator, the anointed one. Cyrus the Great. Check out the Phoenix, because we're gonna get into that into a second. So Cyrus the Great he authorized the Edict of Restoration. And this is where it gets ill, because it encouraged the return of the Israelites to the land of Israel. This is Cyrus the Great, right? So his Edict of Restoration encouraged the return of Israelites to the land of Israel. Cyrus facilitated the Jewish return to Zion and ending Babylonian captivity. What's happening now in the world? From Hebrews to Negroes. So now is it going back from Negroes back to Hebrews? Because people want to leave Babylon. They think they're leaving Babylon, jumping from the fire, praying to the fire, but then they're going Jewish are going to, Hebrews are going to Zion. Just like in the Matrix, when you left the Matrix, where did you go? Zion. So let's go to the Phoenicians real fast. You know what I'm saying? The Phoenicians is a play on the Phoenix. The Phoenix in the Scorpio season that when cosmically, the Phoenix, the Scorpion is on the floor. The eagle and the bird, which is the bird representation here, is the next level of that. And then after that becomes the Phoenix, which rises up out of that. You know what I'm saying? So, just check the, like the Scorpion has the, it's like a bird on the floor. Not a bird on the floor, but it has the stingers or the claws, and then the stingers on the back. That's like, the one on the floor, that's grounded. But then you get to the eagle and the birds, the falcons, stuff like that. Then it's the one that's flying. Now it could fly. It's off the floor. And then the ones from that transcends all of that, and it's the Phoenix, which rebirths itself through what? Through what they say is fire. So there's the Phoenicians is big on that. The Phoenicians they were a Semitic speaking people. Phoenicians were a phonetic speaking people. So boom, check that out. Nobody really knows where the Phoenicians came from either. They just showed up and then just started, you know what I'm saying, etymologically making shit happen, showing words. Like they rebirthed themselves all throughout the time, but nobody knows specifically what a Phoenician is. You know what I'm saying? But they have phonetics and all that type of shit. They're tied to the Phoenix. So they have our fingerprint on human existence. You know what I'm saying? So hooked on phonics. You know what I'm saying? They have a huge hidden hand in how we communicate. Think about it. How do you spell phone? What do you use when you make a call? You call it a phone. Phoenicians is on deck all day. So this plays out today as the Phoenician. Think about Phoenicians as, let's say, people who control or people who are involved in rap. Because rap has they use their words, their cadence. They go to war amongst each other, battle rap, you know what I'm saying, aggressive, but they use cadences, phonetics and stuff to make words sound interesting. The English language sounds interesting due to rappers, you know what I'm saying, people and singers and people who are able to translate the energy of the words from the Phoenicians. And the Phoenicians took different languages, not just one. They took Latin, all the languages, and made the words connect. So if you look at, that's why etymology is important, because you can see how the different words connect, period, point blank. You know what I mean? Well, not period, point blank, but it's like a story that builds upon itself, that cultivates in the mind of human beings. Because we don't even remember what language we think in. We just think. If you don't know Japanese, your mind is not going to speak to you in Japanese. It's going to speak to you in the language that you're speaking. So that's the first breakdown. Hold on, what language am I speaking in? Why? Where'd that language come from? Why? Well, then where'd that come from? Oh, that's etymology. And then what is that other connected to? So what is this word connected to? And what's that? And what's the energy? And then what's the numbers and . And you see where the stuff is built upon. The Phoenicians got a hand in all of that. Oh, the Phoenicians is ill. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying good or bad. That don't matter to me, but they ill. So think about the Phoenicians as rappers, right? So boom. So the Phoenicians cultivate rappers, cadences, and all of that. So then now the Spartans, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's say 300 Entertainment, Spartans, right? All that. What was that? 300 Entertainment. What was shit at 300 Entertainment? So 300 Entertainment, the Spartans going to war, rappers going to war with the system. They lost soul, all this, you know what I'm saying? Everybody going to war, everybody rapping, battling each other, battling Xerxes, going against Crusading, whatever. But boom, they altered from the 300 Entertainment, they took the energy and said, you know what? They're going to need a savior. They fought valiantly, but they're going to need a savior. So the savior is going to come from the same people that it's always come from. Xerxes, Cyrus, all these people that the energy flows through them, whether they know it or not, is revealing itself, right? So we can see how this stuff takes place, right? So the lineage of King Xerxes, who beat the Romans, who beat the Spartans, who the Spartans are tied to the Phoenicians, the Persians are tied to the Phoenicians, damn it, everybody's tied to the Phoenicians. King Cyrus is tied to the Jews, he's on their Jewish coin. Xerxes has ties to the Roman Church, and the Roman Church cultivated a savior for humans. So it's like a puzzle. The Roman Church cultivated a savior, but yet the Spartans fought for Rome. So they control both sides of the board. You always got to see when this shit is coming up like this, and it's a very heated discussion, quote unquote. Both sides of the board are being controlled. Both sides. See that, and then choose your balance for you. There's no need to even get involved in the shenanigans because they're going to continue. But both sides of the board are being controlled. The Spartans are being controlled by the same entities that the Xerxes is being controlled by. And they may war against each other, act like they're going to war, but they're no different from me playing my man in chess. I don't hate him because he don't hate me because I beat him in chess or her in chess. But we playing chess against each other, or we playing Madden against each other. We might get mad at the moment, but after the Madden game is over, we go do what we do and keep it moving. Yo, what's up? What's good? And it's on to the next day. So even in the Bible, right? Boom, in the Bible, it says God anointed Cyrus and refers to Cyrus as a Messiah. He referred to Cyrus as a Messiah. So Cyrus is the only non-Jewish figure in the Bible revered in this way. He anointed Cyrus. That's why he had the lions. Anointed to Cyrus, who's right, I have holding, to subdue nations before him. Cyrus was the king of kings. He washed everybody. One of the biggest Persian empires to be out here. To loose the loins of kings. That means to create lineage through his Cyrus, who came through Xerxes. Xerxes came through him and was also washing people. Went on a huge crusade. Open doors before him, and the gates may not be shut. The gates of what? Gates of what? Right? So Cyrus facilitated the Jewish return to Zion. Israelites to Israel and was anointed by God after doing so. I'm going to repeat that. Cyrus facilitated the Jewish return to Zion. He facilitated Hebrew Israelites to Israel, and was anointed by God. So Jewish to Zion to Israelites to Zion. Where we at? Zion. Remember, Zionists run this whole motherfucking thing. Zion. That's where, regardless of what side of the board you're being played from, pawn, rook, bishop, whatever, Tupac, you're being guided into Zion. Just like in the Matrix, again. All right, boom. So now we have the Hebrews to Negroes documentary. But now, so we're from Hebrews to Negroes. But now Negroes, and if you look at the trending topics now, the trending things that people are saying now, some of the people, spiritual ancestors, spiritual guides, spiritual leaders, Negro spiritual leaders, people who were Negro before will slowly and surely start saying they're going to start identifying themselves as Hebrews. Negroes to Hebrews, and then now we're going to go back from Negroes, Hebrews to Negroes, where we're going to go back from Now we're going to go the other way from Negroes to Hebrews, still being controlled by the same Abrahamic person who ran through the land, which is the, you know what I'm saying, Judaism, Abrahamic religion to begin with. So it's one big shit show. So now we got a savior. Let's call him Ye. You know what I'm saying? Let's call him Kanye. The passion of Kanye West. You see the thorns on him, so he's a huge piece of this. You know what I'm saying? He's supported by spiritual leaders. People are defending him and Kyrie and all of that. You know what I'm saying? They're saying that we are now, quote unquote, we. Who's we? Who's the we? Where's the we come from? Everybody's mixed. Who's we? All right, so boom. Let's look up Hebrews. Let's go. Let's go to Hebrews. Hebrews are Semitic-speaking peoples. This is what Kanye was saying and Kyrie saying. They're Semitic-speaking people. Doesn't mean a race. We're all connected. It's Semitic-speaking people, Semitic-speaking Israelites. So it's like half truths. So yes, boom. Semitic-speaking people. These are the Hebrews. They're nomadic, so they move around. They move around. Although you don't know where they come from, they're always moving. However, in some instances, it may also be used as referring to the Phoenicians. And nobody don't know where the fuck the Phoenicians came from. But the Phoenicians are tied into rap and cadence and phonics and language and all of that. So that's why the rappers are now being involved in the process of the Hebrew translation of whatever, because it's not a race or it's a culture. It's an energy, and the cultures always are normally based upon these pyramid systems. I don't give a fuck if the pyramids are in Giza, or they're in Asia, or they're in South America. They're pyramids, and the only ones that sits on top is the only room for a little bit. Everybody can't fit at the top in these pyramid schemes. Pyramid, Ponzi, spiritual, soulful systems or schemes. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, there's so much to tap into. So in cartoons, right? Just like, let's say Marvel Comics, DCU. Whenever you fight the villain, or they fought the villain, they fought Ultron, and here come Loki, or they fought Loki, and here come this. They fought, you know what I'm saying? And then here come Thanos, and then here come this one. There's always a higher play going on, because regardless, it's the light versus the shadows. In DC, the Injustice League versus the Justice League versus the Outsiders, the Teen Titans versus this. But the prize, who they're fighting over, is the currency of the earth, is Mother Earth and her inhabitants, those who are in her womb, who she's supporting. So, you know what I'm saying? It's very interesting to see how this stuff plays out in mythology, which is cartoons and myth and all that type of stuff, right? So, boom. So now, just to make sure that Hebrews are Semitic speaking, according to Wikipedia, and they're Israelites, and they're nomadic. And the Phoenicians, you don't know where the hell the Phoenicians came from, but they have their fingerprint in society for sure, right? That's where Kanye comes in, and being a rapper, and again, all of that. So we know, we know that we know that we know Shaq's not stupid. So all this stuff about Shaq, and you know what I'm saying, him being a coon or whatever, Shaq is not stupid. He's very intelligent, very intelligent, I'll say. He's being positioned on the board accordingly. Look at his shirt. He's connected. He knows he's talking about the black and white symbolism. Here we go again. He goes with both sides of the board. He's an elder statesman when it comes to entertainment, right? So even if you watch the movie Blue Chips that came out in 1994, Shaq was the quote-unquote woke one. This was in 94. He was saying that the SATs, right, which is a logical indoctrination of the mind to make us think a certain way in boxes and, for ABCD and, all that type of stuff that we had to learn for the SATs. He was saying they were culturally biased back in 1994 on the movie Blue Chips with Nick Nolte and Penny and all of that. So even if you look up Shaq in his earlier years, he was definitely spitting wisdom. Shaq was spitting wisdom. So as you can see, they say he's against Kyrie, but him and Kyrie was in a movie together. Look at the pyramid that they got going on between him, Reggie, and everybody else in the movie. It's a pyramid scheme. And look who's out to the other side, the woman. I think it was Lisa Leslie, or Lisa Leslie. To the side. You stay to the side. You're going to play your part later. But the pyramid, Shaq's on top. And even in that movie, in Uncle Drew, Shaq was the fucking, he was the sensei. He was the wise. Yeah. These niggas is like, you know what I'm saying? Then later on, him and Kyrie, he's beefing with Kyrie. Nah, that's Uncle Drew. Kyrie old head in his mind. He an old soul. Kyrie know what he doing. Kyrie know what the fuck he doing. Look on his tattoo on his right hand. He got the 6-pointed star, as above, so below. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stop looking at this stuff and being pushed one way or another emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Remember, like, this is what Shaq is showing you. The wise man can play the fool, but it's very difficult for the fool to be wise. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back to Kanye for a minute. All right? Boom, we'll go back to Kanye. The reason why Mr. West is a critical figure is because he's tied to Trump. You know what I'm saying? And remember, Trump's on a coin. They put Trump on a coin. They put Trump on a coin with King. That's King Cyrus. Boom, the Persian Empire. See that? Persian Empire. That's King Cyrus. The menorah in the middle. What's on the right? The phoenix. The eagle. Phoenix. Symbolism. Boom. Symbolism of the Cyrus. The conqueror, liberated, the anointed one. The phoenix, that's on our dollar. The phoenix, falcon, energy, bird energy. Phoenix energy. Phoenix energy is very important. They put Trump on this with King, like they put him on a coin. And he charged me to build him a house in Jerusalem. Are we seeing the constant themes? Jerusalem, Israelites, Hebrews, Jewish, Cyrus, Persian, Roman. Like, just because, like, don't get lost in the compartmentalization of Rome versus Persian versus. Look at the energy and how it flows through. That's why realize energy dynamics within yourself and within your life, and you can see all this energy dynamics out here is just like a movie. It's literally like a fucking movie. So there's no need for me to, like, I'm not, if I watch a movie, I may feel something for a quick moment, but after the movie's over, all right, that hurt for a minute, or that felt great for a minute, but I'm not living my life based upon that movie. This is how we can look at society, because the society is a movie of something spiritual that we're enduring, that we're going through physically here. So they put him next to King Cyrus. So don't sleep on your man. He's blowing the trumps. He's blowing the trumps. So Kanye, or Ye, or Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Jesus walked on water. He's being used right now and he's deified himself as a savior. Jesus is king. He's saying that he's the king. They're saying they position him as king, not the ruler, but king. You know what I'm saying? Because the king has an advisor. So even right now, you see he has the Jesus scruffy look on his face, the whole Arab look right now, that King Cyrus beard look. You know what I'm saying? He's being positioned for the people. But where was the people at when he was making all this money with Adidas to begin with? Where was the people at? Where was his people at then? Now, all of a sudden, we go on a crusade. Black people are conditioned to go on a crusade for Kanye to speak up on his side. But did he buy any water systems from Moses West? Did he buy any etheric systems from any of these people that are focusing on holistic healing? Did he focus on any of that, or did he just make him his better way in the system? There's a water system that you could purchase that is, I think, $50,000 to $70,000 that makes water out of thin air. All this money, all this stuff, none of these niggas bought none of that. You could place that in an entire society. Everybody got clean water. I'm not sure if it's alkaline yet. I haven't looked into it that deep, but I mean, come on. Who did he marry? Look at the shenanigans going on in that family. Who did he marry? What family did he marry? Like, we focus on the wrong thing. This is the wrong thing. This is not our fight. You can be if you want to be. Then you could be amongst the bottom of the pyramid and work and do what you do. But your man on the Donda album release, he did a whole ritual. Look at the mask, the whole ritual. Bang. Ritual. He's deifying himself. He's being deified. That's why he can talk all this shit now and talk about old school shit about sacrifices and Bill Cosby. Like, niggas been talking about, like, that's old news. But now all of a sudden, it's good because fuck out of here, man. So on the Donda album, remember, black absorbs light. Everything is a ritual when it comes on these large stages because entities are feeding off of the energy of the people, right? So the Donda album was all black. That whole Mercedes-Benz thing was all black for the most part. Black with people's phones representing their energy, the light, giving their light up to the darkness that's consuming it like a black hole. So this is truly a dark, twisted, beautiful fantasy for sure. So I'm gonna close out, you know what I'm saying? But what I didn't want to just touch on was that, humans culture, our culture has for the most part always been cultivated for us. We're not originators of nothing. We're not the sun. We're not dynamos. We have not connected the masculine and divine, divided, divine, masculine and feminine within us to become what you would call an androgynous, dynamic being. You know what I'm saying? We haven't done that. So we repeat cycles in different stretches of time. So that's the zodiac. That's the cycle that's above us. That's the cycle that determines whether or not you're going to be an Aquarius or a Libra or a Sagittarius. So that energy flows through in the same way that energy is being used for the lens of what's going on throughout society. So being born as a human, we're limited in our creation power anyway. So that's why they say God created the world. God created this. God's the facilitator. This God is da-da-da. There's nothing new under the sun. And even the book of the sun, people worship the sun because they feel that the sun is creating this stuff. It's just stepping down the energy that it's getting from other suns, other stars, and bringing it through to our planets, synthesizing it, photosynthesis, to human beings. So we have the power, you know what I'm saying? Humans have the power to create something that's relatively new to us, but it could only be done with innovation, and it's done with connectivity across the human design, which means that, connectivity amongst us, teamwork makes the dream work. You know what I'm saying? Like Dolo said, teamwork makes the dream work, or, all itself, like Seven Beaumont says. Unity is the key, you know what I'm saying? Like, in order to connect, you got to put stuff together. You know what I mean? Put people together. Doesn't have to be like minds, but with reciprocal energy that we're able to reciprocate amongst each other and appreciate and value, appreciate in what we have. And if we're able to do these things on a cosmic level, there's so much stuff we can tap into. But we running behind Kanye and Shaq and this one and that one. The energy goes elsewhere. If we just sat and meditated with each other for 15 minutes every day, or 3 days out the week, or 4 days out the week. And why you think Phil Jackson had these niggas meditating all the time? Because he's focused on a different level of energy as opposed to what we're talking about. Or we're running our fucking mouth up. Because that stuff is mind, and that's cultivation. When you sit with yourself, you sit with yourself in silence. Or with music or whatever, but you're sitting with yourself. And if you sit with yourself in different formations, different times of the season, holding hands, moving energy, that's a whole nother concept. We're not doing that. I'm doing it. But we're not doing that. We, quote unquote, aren't doing that. You go to retreat to do that. No, do that shit every fucking day. Connect with your grandmother every day in meditation. Connect with your loved ones every day, all the time in meditation. Connect with yourself all the time. Cultivate yourself. Cultivate your mind. Cultivate all of that. You know what I'm saying? Cultivate your Merkaba. Cultivate your powers. Cultivate your inside. Don't have your land tilled. Don't be crops. Don't be eating. Don't be food for the gods. Like both sides of the board are connected, B. As above, so below. Check out the Merkaba signature or 3D situation that we have here. The 2D version, the 6-pointed star, this is the 3D version. Create your Merkaba. Focus on your Merkaba. Get ourselves together, fam. Let's put it together, man, because this stuff is really, really interesting, but it hurts at the same time. It's funny. It's all different emotions that I feel, but what's the Merkaba talking about? What are we doing? We going to use the 6-pointed star? I bet. We focus on our energy? Boom. 2D version is the 6-pointed star. That's what they want to focus on? All right, so that means that we could push through more Merkaba energy now. Because for whatever reason, that energy is making itself valuable and available. And what year are we in? 2022, that's the 6. 3 up top, 3 beneath. Pyramid below. Balance. Connected. Stay connected, people. Roll Radio. Truly honor, appreciate everybody listening, sticking around, doing what you're doing, staying with yourself. Much honor and respect to you.